Hi guys, as you know, Halloween is coming up fast and furious, and naturally for my first ever Halloween tutorial I thought, unicorn, definitely. This DIY will show you how to make a twisty horn as well as some sparkly ears, and you'll also have the opportunity to make yourself a mane and a tail made out of real hair. That's right, like a real unicorn. So let's go! You will need a plain headband and embroidery thread, pink and white and grey foam sheets, glue gun and scissors, white felt and cushion stuffing, a pen and some card. So first things first, we need to cut out a template. As you can see, I'm drawing an ear and an inner ear, and I'm adding a tab at the end so that we can glue this to our headband. I used scissors to cut out the outer shape and then went in with a craft knife to cut out the inner shape. You only really need one template because you can use it for all of them. Use your outer ear piece to cut out 4 pieces in your white foam. Just fold over the paper and then trace twice and then cut twice. That should give you 2 identical pairs of ears. Woo! Now we're going to do it again with the inner piece on our pink foam. This time we only need 1 pair because they're only going to go onto 1 pair of our ears. Okay, so grab a pair of outies and put your inner ears on top of them. Glue them together, making sure that the tabs are still separate to everything else because we'll need that later. So now we have a front pair and a back pair. Let's get them on the band. Mark out where you want your placement, and then starting with the back pair, glue a line on the inside tab and then glue to the underside of the band. Do this for the other side and then repeat the process with the front tabs, overlapping the back tabs, making sure the pink is facing outward. Okay, so all that's left to do now is just join the 2 top edges with a little bit of glue. Be careful not to burn yourself because I did that many times. And then you have these nice little 3D ears which you can see from the front and from the back. Nice. Okay, for your horn, grab your felt and then fold it so that you have a triangle with one really long side. Pin all the openings closed and then cut off the excess. Once you've cut it out, stitch the long edge closed with a straight stitch. Give the corners a snip, being careful to not go through the actual stitching, and then turn to the right side out, making sure to get a really good point if you can. Just give it a pokey poke with something pokey. Once you've finished poking, flatten it out at the seam and then cut off any excess, and this will make sure it has a nice flat bottom. Grab your cushion stuffing and then stuff your horn until it's nice and firm and full. Be sure to get it right up in that point. Thread your needle and then fold the horn shut at the bottom and then just sew it closed. I didn't have any white, so I used this purple, but it doesn't matter too much because we're going to cover it anyway. Using a spare piece of felt that was left over, I cut a square that was roughly about the size of the base of the cone. We're going to use this to cover our stitching once we have glued it to our headband. So to me, a classic unicorn horn is a little bit twisty, so we're going to create that effect now. So thread your needle again and then sew a stitch into the corner of your horn and then twist all the way up. This is why we wanted it to be stuffed, because you can get that twisty effect really easily. And then do a couple of stitches at the top so you can pull it down and make it look even more twisted, and then knot it off at the end and then a dab of glue to secure that in place. Once you've done that, squish it around a bit and get it into the formation that you're happy with, and there's one twisty horn. Now to attach them together. Glue a line directly onto the headband and then place the horn so that it's pointing a little bit forward and not directly up, because horns are meant to be coming out of the forehead and not the top of the head. Then glue your felt piece to the underside, covering all the stitching and cleaning everything up. And because unicorns are sparkly, let's add some jewels. A few dabs of glue and you've got yourself a sparkly horn and ear set. Woo! Now, if you want, you can stop right here, throw on some white clothes and you're good to go. Or, ha ha ha, yep, I did it. Unicorn level 100, complete with mane and tail made from real hair. Completely detachable and super trendy because look at that choker. To make one of these babies, you are going to need all of these things right here. So let's get into it. First, you're going to need 3 measurements. Your neck plus 2 inches, your waist plus 2 inches, and then your nape to where you want the tail to end, which was about 30 inches for me. With these measurements, draw out 3 rectangles with widths between 3 and 5 inches. For more detailed measurements, check out the Crafterpreneur for this post. Fold each rectangle in half and then pin together and sew the short edge and the long edge closed. Remember to keep one edge open so that we can turn this inside out. We're trying to create 3 bands. Once you have finished sewing, trim the edges and turn to the inside. Make sure you're taking extra care to not cut any of the actual sewn seams, and then when you've pulled them to the inside, press them flat. Once you've folded them to their right side, you can then fold the open edge inwards and then machine that shut. Next, cut your Velcro so that it sits comfortably on the inside and the outside of your neck and your waistband. Pin your Velcro pieces to their places and then using a straight stitch, stitch a square around the perimeters of the Velcro. Use a pin to also find the middle of both your neckband and your waistband. Now we join the bands together. Using this picture as a guide, make sure that the neck is at the very top and that the waistband is exactly where your waist is on the back band. So when you close it, it looks like this. Now's a good time to try it on for size and make any adjustments to the fit with the Velcro. If you're happy, then it's time to add some hair. Make sure you get hair that is on a weft so that you can cut it to the size of the back band. I then cut up both wefts and then piled them, one coloured side and one non-coloured side. Then starting at the bottom of the band, I glued them on one track at a time, leaving about ½ centimetre in between each track. I alternated between colours, blonde, blonde and pink, blonde, blonde and pink, until I got to the very top. Just a heads up, because you cut the wefts, there will be a little bit of shedding, but doesn't matter because once you finish gluing, you can then give it a good brush and get all those excess hairs out. Once I'd finished brushing, I jazzed it up a little bit by putting a few gems on the neck and the waist, and there you have it, one sparkly unicorn complete with swishy mane and tail. And the best part about the mane, you can style it any way you want. Plait it, curl it, cut it, whatever. That's all for today, but I'll see you soon. Bye! Hi guys, and welcome to the Crafterpreneur. Today I have another easy DIY tutorial. We will be making this swing top, which you can